I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Amy Revell. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Oh, I'm going well. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon here in Melbourne, and it is a beautiful day, Angel. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, it's a great pleasure to connect with you. Less is better, right? Less is more, isn't it? It's like I listened to your podcast and I was like, yeah, I was excited. Yeah, to talk to Amy.
That's awesome. Yes, less is best, that is for sure.
Yeah. So do tell me which of your talents, Amy, is responsible for us connecting at this time?
Well, we connected through my podcast, The Art of Decluttering, and I'm known in Australia as the Declutter Queen. So I guess the talent that is responsible for us meeting is my great decluttering skills, and that I've, out there creating content around the world of decluttering.
Yeah, and I love how you're creating the content. I listened to the episode where you and your co-host were speaking about books, right?
Yes.
And but you didn't just jump in and say, okay, you need to stop gathering the books. Like, you actually built the story from the conversation, which was very well done. I really enjoyed that.
Oh, thank you. Kirsty and I have a great chemistry and we absolutely love each other. So it works well to just chat away and talk about decluttering as we're chatting.
Yeah. So who did you learn the skill of what's necessary to do decluttering from?
Well, when I was growing up, my mum was my influencer for organising, and that's probably who I learnt those skills from. But in terms of decluttering, which is really a different skill to organising, I learnt that about 7 years ago. I started to have a desire, along with my husband, for a simpler life and for having simplicity and less and a bit of freedom in our lives. And that's where we discovered minimalism and decluttering and have developed that ever since.
Now, the book that inspired me along that path was Essentialism. Are you familiar with it?
Oh, no, but I am writing it down right now because I'm going to find it and buy it.
Yeah, you are going to love that book. Wow, Essentialism. Yeah.
Thank you.
His name is Greg McKeown, I believe Greg McKeown. Yeah.
Excellent. I shall Google that straight away.
Oh, wonderful. So you've been doing this for quite a bit. You're mixing the organizing with the decluttering. Which do you prefer?
I find greater freedom in the decluttering because, you free yourself from all the stuff. But I do find great joy in organizing because then you're able to actually maintain the decluttering.
Yeah. It's like, which comes first? Is it the chicken or the egg, right?
Always decluttering first. Always.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a mindset thing too as well, isn't it?
It's exactly that. I'm running a course at the moment with my co-hosts called the Art of Decluttering Mindset course, and helping people understand the habits and routines and mindsets that shift you from being someone who likes to keep a lot of stuff and live in chaos to really living that free, clutter-free life.
That's wonderful. So where can we go to connect with that?
Theartofdecluttering.com.au is our podcast's website, and my personal business website is simplyorganised.net.
Wonderful. Wow. So have you decided, why will you continue to repeat this skill, Amy?
Because it brings me freedom and joy. And those are two things that I want for the rest of my life. And doing decluttering and organising brings me both of those two things.
Yeah, love it. But tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
That is a very good question. I think the thing that I've done consistently is I'm a dreamer. I love just kind of sitting and dreaming about the what ifs in the world. And I ask myself the question quite regularly, why not? And I think that's the thing I've done consistently is whenever I come up with an idea, instead of saying, well, why would that work? I say, why wouldn't that work? And usually the answer is hard work. And I'm totally okay with hard work. So dreaming is one of those things I absolutely love doing.
And how does it make you feel?
Very excited for the future because the world is our oyster. We can dream and create and come up with things that people haven't done in the way that we will do it. So it's a very exciting future when you're a dreamer.
Yeah. Suggest to someone that's listening, a dreamer, if you would, or in fact, someone that is not dreaming sufficiently, why they should even consider dreaming.
Oh, because you will experience so much joy in dreaming. You'll unlock things inside of you that you didn't even know were down in there. And then once you've actually dreamed, then you have the ability and the skill and the permission to go and chase that dream. And I've had some crazy dreams, Angel. It's not like they're all successful, but the successful ones come out of dreaming.
Yeah. Well, amazing audience. You're hearing it live here with Amy Revell, right? She is amazing. Co-host of Art of Decluttering. Big shout out to your co-host, right? So her name is Kirsty, right? It's
Kirsty, yeah, Kirsty.
Yeah. I cannot pronounce her last name. I'll take a try. So it's Ferrugia, is it? Ferrugia?
Yeah, almost Ferrugia. I think between Revell and Ferrugia, we get them both mispronounced, but we're okay with that.
All right, wonderful. Well, let's switch gears for a moment now, Amy, and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Amy, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory is actually visiting my mum and my baby sister in hospital when she was born. I don't know how I remember it because I was only 18 months old, but I remember looking through the nursery window in my dad's arms and him pointing out which baby was my sister and feeling an immense sense of pride.
Wow, so you're 18 months old. Why do you think this memory is so clear?
Well, I think up until that stage, when you're the eldest, you're an only child. So it was by far and above the biggest thing that had ever happened in my little life. And I don't think I have any other childhood memories for a couple of years after that. So it was very significant.
Well, that's intriguing. Wow. Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Please do.
I love the idea of space, and in the midst of decluttering and what it represents, we spoke about it a bit, the decluttering of the mind. And it's really intriguing to see that your memory is an individual entering into a new space, if you would, and the value that carries across life. I'm so glad that you're helping others understand from the mindset first how they can operate in their spaces, if you would.
Oh, that is a beautiful thought around that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Look at you, 18 months year old. Wow, aware of your space. Wow.
That's incredible. I love it.
If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
It was also my first ever cassette tape, the single Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, played to death. I absolutely loved it.
If we fast forward... Alright, so I said that already. Am I getting brain bugs? Alright, so we've arrived at our destination, Amy. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Amy, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
I want to pass my skills on to the whole world, Angel, through my podcast, my blog, my YouTube channel, videos, and training my staff.
Are you married?
Happily.
Do you have children?
2 boys who are 9 and 11.
Wow, do you believe in God?
Yes, I am a passionate Jesus-following Christian.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes, probably on Netflix I would watch 3 hours a week.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
It's probably more than 8 every single day.
Wow. All right, so Amy, after 1,001 conversations in 3 months in 2016, I came up with a workbook. The name of it is called Yours. It stands for Your Own Unique Real Self. And the idea is you answer questions, make the space, if you would, to identify your mission, your own unique real statement. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Amy Revell, what would you say that is?
I would say it's 3 words. Enjoy the freedom. It's the tagline I use when I sign my book, when I sign off on all my YouTube videos. Enjoy the freedom.
Yeah. You know what just happened? Something that doesn't really happen that much, but even with the earliest childhood memory, the space,
yes.
right? The baby space, it's like
yes.
Jesus being born away in a manger, and it's really fascinating what can occur or what can be born in a space that's that small. It's just like,
wow.
Like really being able to maximize on your space, right? Like Jesus, the Son of God in that story is represented in a space that is really utilized well. Yeah, and it's really up
Yeah,
to the individuals, right? It's really up to
That's right.
Mary and Joseph.
You've given me goosebumps to draw all of that together, and you've just put it so perfectly.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, so as I was saying, before we close, right? Me, share something with our amazing audience, please.
Well, my encouragement to you, if you're listening to this today, is to dream, to pause, to declutter, to organize, and to enjoy the freedom.
Love it. Amy Revell, great pleasure. One more time, I'd say thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you, Angel. It has been a delight.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.